This is Larry the Barber Man. I'm here in Dublin at Sam's Barber Shop. I'm here with Sammy himself, all the way from Southern California. Andrew does hair. You've all seen him on Instagram. Today we are going to talk about Barbercut, which is going to be the first ever barber festival and educational conference in Dublin, Ireland. And Sammy's going to get his hair cut by Andrew Does Hair, and we're going to talk about the benefits of attending this great festival. And let's hit it.
Hey, how you doing? Sam Donnelly of Sam's Barbers Dublin. I'm the co-founder of Barbercut Dublin. Barbercut Dublin is Ireland's first educational barbering festival and conference. What we're basically doing is bringing the biggest names in the business from around the world to Dublin for these guys to showcase exactly what they do and why it is that they have taken the social media stage by storm. It's on October the 2nd at the Opium Rooms. You can get your tickets on eventbrite.ie. I'm going to get my hair cut now off the world famous Andrew of Andrew Does Hair, which I'm super excited about. So I'm going to hand you guys over to Andrew.
Hi Andrew. So tell us, Andrew, what haircut are you intending to do whilst we talk about Barbercut on the great Sam Connolly?
I wanted to keep his haircut today a little bit more on the natural, soft, uncut side, because at least where I come from, when you go to a barber shop, you expect everything to look fresh and tight and perfect. And so one of the things that has helped me to grow my following is to look at what is expected and try to do as far opposite as possible. So I don't know if Sam's going to feel really uncomfortable with the haircut like I'm going to give him, but I'll make it work. It won't be so far from the norm that you won't like it, but
I have full confidence.
Cool. Otherwise I wouldn't be here then.
Yeah, that's it for sure. No, listen, I'm really looking forward to this, and like I said to you earlier on, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing to say to somebody, oh, just it's a blank canvas, but like, you know, I know we all love a little bit of direction from our client, but you know what, I'm fully confident in you, so rock and roll, let it happen.
Cool. Should I just start then?
Yeah.
All right. So. It's always awkward to do a haircut in a new place, at least for the first half of the haircut. So since I'm going to start on this side, then this will be the side that you don't want to show people when you meet them.
I'll just walk around like this.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
By the time I get to the other side, I'll be more comfortable and
the jet lag has kicked in and
exactly.
Fine. And yeah, I'm okay with that. My barber, I rang my barber last night and I said, listen, I'm getting a haircut tomorrow at Bianca. And she says, okay, what time? I said, I'm getting it done at 9. And she goes, well, I see you there at 9. I goes, yeah, Andrew's cutting my hair. And Bianca was like, I'll let you wave that. She goes, because it's Andrew, she said, it's okay.
Oh, I hope she'll be able to fix it.
I don't know, we'll find out. You know she's a world champion taekwondo black belt, so just pre-warning you.
So Sammy, tell me some of the names Sam. Okay. So Sam, tell me some of you've got some big names coming along on Sunday. Andrew, you've got Johnny Bubba, which he's originally from Ireland.
He's a Limerick man. He's a Limerick man. Proud Limerick man he is.
Exactly. And you've got Joff Davis from Savills. You've got Donnelly from Hollywood.
Hollywood. Yeah, we got them all. We've got like, you know, we're starting off with the Waldorf barbers with Liam Finnegan and his daughter Linda. And them guys are going to introduce the old school way of barbering. And then we're going to move on and we're going to ask Josh Davis of Savills to come on board, and he's going to showcase his skill of barbering. Josh's an amazing guy. He's such a nice person, and I think Pistol Pete is coming along with Josh, who is I've had the pleasure of meeting before, who is a fantastic character. And then we're going to move on, then we're going to bring in Donny Howley of the world famous Howleywood's Barbershop and the founder of Layrite Deluxe Pomades. And he's bringing over Mitchell Wilson, who is Layrite's head of education. Really nice guy. And then Johnny the Baba of Barber UK, he's coming home to his home country to, he's one of our best exports. himself and Paul Mac Special. They're two of our biggest and best exports. And then we're going to move on to Andrew. Andrew, I'm a big fan of Andrew.
I still don't know what I'm doing yet at the show, but it's going to be good.
I don't know why he begged me to bring him over, but I did. No, I begged him. There was no begging. Then we're bringing over Josh LaMonica from the men's bar team. I've had the pleasure of working with Josh on a few workshops with the men's bar education team, and every time that I'm with them on their workshops, I'm blown away by their approach to barbering, their approach to gentlemen's hairdressing, their approach to customer service. And then as well, we're bringing in the bearded bastard from the Scorum, and the Scorum crew are coming over. Super excited with the lads that are coming over. So the whole day is just going to be about basically showcasing everyone individual's skill of barbering.
And tell me, you've got, 1, 2, 3 pomade moguls under one roof. Tell me what was the thought pattern when you was going to have, Andrew does hair, Lay Right, and yourself indeed with
Pump and Co.
Well,
you've got the Scorum lads are going to be over representing Roozle.
Yeah.
You've got Josh is going to be over representing his new product range. Josh, you're going to kill me, but I can't pronounce the name, so I'm not even going to start to pronounce it right. Then you've got Pump and Co. You've got ADH Andrews. ADH. You've got Clubman. They've all got pomade. So basically, there's a pomade and a hairstyling product to everyone out there, and people like to shop and change and use different products at different times. They have different styles at different times, and they use different products. So it's not a case of having one product and one product only, because there's not just one product. There's plenty of products there, and everyone on stage has an affiliation with some sort of product there. So the beauty of Barber Cut is that every product range is there. Their creators and founders are there with it to talk about their product and explain exactly why they think their product should be on the world stage.
Okay. So you're going to have workshops and classes there?
No, what we're going to have is we're going to have all our guests showcase their skill and type of barbering on stage. And then at the exhibit stalls, basically, the barbers that are on stage will be able to talk to the clients about their products at their exhibits. And this is what's making us quite unique and different is that every product range is going to showcase their skill on the stage with their product. And then afterwards or beforehand, people can actually physically go up to these people that are so used to seeing on social media and heard about the products and get to really touch, smell and feel the product, mind you, not the guests.
And, I heard it wrong the first time.
That's how I got Andrew over. Was I didn't tell him that it was just the products that they can do. But so that's what's quite different, because it's going to be a very personal a day of interaction, and
That's good. So it's not going to be one of these kind of superstars things where you see them on stage and they're talking at the back of the stage. It's an opportunity for the attendees to get up close and personal and ask some of the questions that they've been longing to ask their idols, if you like, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah. As I've always said, the barbering community was always a local community, a community of local barbers. You would know, guys that you've worked with in a shop at one stage, and that's how the community was always is. Then the social media took the barbering stage and made the barbering community a global community. And from that global community, stars were born. Andrew, for example, the barbering community is now global, where myself and Andrew know each other from social media, which I just think has been fantastic.
Okay, so it's basically, as you quite rightly said, where the world is so small with social media, it's actually an opportunity to get up close to that person, even if they're from, 6,000 miles away.
Yeah, the barbering community is no longer a local community, it's a global community. And then with the co-founder of Barber Cut, Kieran Black, who is a good friend of mine, a Seattle native, his experience in event organising and then my background in barbering, it just made sense that you know, we brought Barbercut to Dublin. I'm the Movember Barber for Ireland, and I'm a representative of Movember Foundation all over the length and the breadth of the country. And I've been to all these big events, the length and the breadth of the country, representing Movember, and looking at people coming from around the world to come to Ireland for events. And then myself as a barber have been travelling the world going to barbering events, and kind of saying to myself, you know, why don't we have our own event in Ireland? Why don't we invite the world's famous barbers and ask them to come to Dublin? So what I had done is I put on my barber antenna. I went out and I invited my barber brothers from around the world, hoping that a few of them would kind of say, yeah, we'd love to be there. They all said yes. Because I think as well, you see, there's a big difference is that I'm a barber. I'm 4 generations of barbering in my blood. I've 28 barbers experience. My partner, Kieran Black, he at this stage, you know, he's practically a barber. Can't cut hair for shit, but he's a barber, like that's for sure.
Like me.
Yeah. Larry the Barberman and Kieran Black, they are honorary barbers to the trade. They've paid their dues, trust me.
I feel so. Okay. So there's going to be a variety of classes. It's not just haircuts. You can actually have shaving specialists there. Tell me about some of these shaving specialists that are going to be.
Fantastic master barber, Donnelly. He's a Czech barber, and he's going to be representing the Clubman stall there, and he's going to be showing straight razor shaving. He's going to be shaving all day. See, Daniel's going to work out his own chair at the Clubman exhibit, where he's going to be just shaving all day. So people will have a unique chance to kind of go up and talk to the Clubmen guys there, and Daniel will be able to explain to people exactly what he's doing. So if somebody's not sure, you always get this thing when you talk to barbers, like, you know what I mean, do you shave? And they're like, I don't like shaving, so I don't do it. It's not that they don't like shaving, they don't know how to shave. Shaving is a pleasurable experience for the barber once you know how to do it, and it's all right not to know how to do it. If you're not shown how to do something, you can't do it, period. But what Daniel's going to be doing today is he's just going to be showing the skill of straight razor shaving and showing how relaxing it actually can be for the barber. It's one thing for the client to experience a straight razor shave, but it's actually a very therapeutic experience for the barber doing the shave. So that's why we've dedicated the whole day to shaving. So we haven't put the shaving on the main stage, because that's not something they're going to put up on the stage and, you know, just shave about. It's about the experience of the shave.
Pause. Wait. Sorry. Whew, all that loose hair was making me OCD go crazy.
Yeah, I'm like that. I'm like, do I kick it off or do I?
Yeah, because I personally think the shave is overlooked by many barbers, and I think a lot of barbers are leaving money on the table by not offering shaves. The retail opportunity at the end of a shave are far greater than a skin fade.
Listen, I've always said, right, that if somebody's coming into the barber shop for a shave because they forgot to shave that morning, wrong reason. You're coming into the barber shop to experience the theatre of a hot towel shave and what the tradition and the skill of the straight razor, the hot towels, the warm lather. And, you know, okay, a lot of barbers will turn around and say, like, there's no money in shaving because I could do 2 haircuts at the same time as I could do a shave. But exactly what you said, it's about, you know, introducing and educating your client on the luxury of a shave. And then, like, you know what I mean, it's up to the barber then if they'd like to advise their client on, you know, the right shaving brush, the right shaving product, so they can create 90% of that luxury shave at home. I shave once a week myself. If I don't have the time to give myself a wet shave, I just give myself a clipper shave in the face, because if I don't have the time to give myself a shave, I'm not going to do it. And I myself personally with my clients, I try to educate my clients on how to give themselves a luxury shave at home. And if you don't have time for a luxury shave, don't shave. And in today's styles and fashions, you can get away with a stubble, a beard, or close shaving. So you don't have to shave if you're representing a client in front of a judge. He's not going to get liked because you didn't shave that morning.
Can I have a request at Barbercut? I've got a request. Would it be possible to do a segment of a workshop on actually how to retail in a consultative manner? Because I think a lot of barbers would find that very helpful and could increase, I believe, any barber's income by 5 figures.
Well, see, this is the thing as regards to what Barbercut has to offer. Like, you know, because the unique situation of Barbercut Dublin is that all the exhibits that are there have their co-founders, founders and representatives of their product on stage, and then when they're not on stage they're going to be at their exhibits talking to people. So just for example, if Andrew's at Barbercut Dublin, he'll be at the True Barber exhibit talking about ADH, and that's a unique way for a client to be able to turn around and say, you know, how would you introduce your product to your client? And it's introducing your product to your client, but also showing your client how to use their product. There's no point just selling a jar of product to a client and go, there you go, see you later. Because they might as well just go into a local retail store and buy a product. It's about, and I'm not talking about like, you know, it's not rocket science in putting a product into hair, once you know how. Like, you know, as I always say to a lot of my clients, less is more. Like, you know, you put too much product in your hair and you're going to have to wash your hair out again and restart again. So it's like things like that. So from helping a client, a barber on their retail, that's what the guests on the day will be there to help, because they will give their own experience. Because you have to remember, an awful lot of the products that are on exhibit at Barbercut have been born from barbers, and barbers who go out of their way to actually do their own product ranges because they felt that there was a market for what they wanted to offer. But they're automatically going to have that experience on how to retail their product, and you will get that firsthand. And that's the difference of Barbercut Dublin.
Okay, yeah, you're quite right there, because people go to different pomades for different experiences. Some want the shiny, some want it light.
Very, very much so. Like, you know, like there's no comparison between Layrite and ADH. They're two completely different products for completely different people and completely different styles. They're not in conflict with each other. They complement each other. They're there. They all exist. Like Ruzel is a fantastic product. Pont & Co, Clubman, they're all there. They all exist alongside each other.
So on that note, Andrew, tell me what makes ADH different from the crowd, if you like.
Okay, so how do I start? I'm trying not to tell my whole life story. I end up being a little bit of a talker once I get going. A few years ago, as the more kind of old school, slick, clean, tight looks were becoming popular, every hair product that I found was very heavy and high shine, high hold, essentially trying to make a job faster and easier for guys who don't know how to do their hair. And at the same time, people would bring me these pictures of looks that were very soft and loose and natural, that were very clearly blow dried. And at least where I come from, as I've been saying all day, guys don't typically do that. They don't blow dry their hair. They all wanted the faster, easier, slicker, tighter products. And so when I couldn't find anything that would produce, I almost felt like a lot of like, I'm trying not to say David Beckham. I'm trying not to drop name brands, but people bring these David Beckham looks that I would look at and go, oh, they used women's styling products to do that, texturizing powders and creams and things, because everything for men smelled like cologne, which was cool, except it was like really heavy and stuff. So when I made ADH, I just wanted it to be, I started off actually trying to just make like a texture spray, like a sea salt spray. And I ended up putting it in a jar because I wanted it, we kept thickening it up until it was almost a pomade. And so people would mistake it for a pomade. They think it's a dry look pomade, but it's actually just a texturizing cream. And so it's kind of funny you asked how it was different from the other products. Layrite came out with their two matte finish products recently, and everybody came to me like, oh my gosh, they're trying to like get in on your turf. And I'm like, it's totally different. Their products are completely different. You know, Layrite, they're innovators, and I'd like to think I'm an innovator. It's not like, actually Mike Clem from Layrite put it best. He said that you go down the beer aisle and there's like more than one kind of beer on the aisle, right? And so I don't know what I'm saying right now. I wish I would have been warned for these questions. I didn't try to copy anything out there. I made my product because I wanted something that was literally as opposite as possible from what I was finding to become popular. Because it was easy to find what's popular. You walk into any grocery store and you could find what's popular. You walk into any barbershop and you would find, you know, it's funny because somebody asked me like, how is this pomade different from this pomade? And it's not. They're all the same thing, it's different colors and different labels. And so I wanted something that would perform completely different. I didn't want it to hold, I didn't want it to be hard. So hopefully from all that you can get a short and clear answer. Good luck.
So on Sunday, what would you be kind of, what have you got in mind? What have you planned to put to the Irish barbering community and European barbering community? Because barberies are coming from all over.
So I'm not exactly positive what I'm going to talk about. The thing that I usually do with these shows, I've never been out of the US, but the thing that I usually do with these shows that ends up being like a big hit with the US barbers is what I find a lot of UK and Irish barbers are already doing anyways. And so I think the main theme that I'm going to try to cover is building trust with your clients, which is really more important than being technically skilled. And the two are not related. It's almost like everybody in this room probably has an Apple phone except my wife. Even though there are other phones that have better specs and more specs, and they're waterproof and they're lighter and they're expandable and every other thing. And it's not because, so, oh my gosh, why am I trailing off like a damn moron today? You said don't drink before. I should have had one beer before because now I'm nervous.
I think I'll get drunk.
Got it. Let me restart. I'm going to talk mostly about how to build trust with the client more, and how that's more important than trying to show off our technical skill. I think a lot of times we tend to forget that a client doesn't look at hair the way that we look at hair. They don't have the same understanding that we do. So you can't technical skill your way to trust with somebody who can't recognize the technical skill, if that makes sense. And so for me in my own career, styling has been a great way to make that connection with clients. So that's roughly what I'll be talking about.
It's, in a nutshell, it's the kind of know, like and trust. Because there's not on Instagram as an example, there's some people on there that hasn't necessarily got a massive skill set, but they've gained the trust of their followers. And if you gain the trust of your followers, they'll like you, know you, and they'll buy from you.
Yeah, and that's in any business. That's not even just a hair thing.
Yeah. And what will you actually be doing, Sam? As I know you're the organiser, so it's interesting to hear what you'll be doing.
What will I be doing on the day?
What skill set will you be sharing with the world?
My multitask ability of running around and making sure everybody's happy, making sure everyone's getting what they came for, which is an excellent day of the world's best barbers showcasing their skill, basically. No, really, I'll be running around like a skivvy on the day. I'll be doing what needs to be done. I'm not going to have a great day. I'm going to make sure everyone else is having a great day. It's my job to make sure everyone else has a great day.
And what kind of numbers are you expecting?
What type of numbers are we? 6,000 people. Kieran's behind me, behind us, like with his fingers up, saying that. We're going to have a couple of hundred people on the day. We didn't want to go too big because we wanted to make the first year of Barber Cut Dublin good. I didn't want to be kind of shooting kind of crazy and looking for, we could have selling out at 1,000 plus if we'd wanted, but we decided not to, because what I wanted to do, or what we wanted to do on the first year, was keep the quality in it. I've got 5 stores of my own in Dublin, barber shops, and I don't have any more than 5 shops because I want the quality of my brand strong. And we kind of, I suppose, a little bit of that rubbed off when we were going for Barber Cut. Was because we didn't want to kind of have too many people there and make it seem as if we just wanted to rack and stack the numbers. We could have, like, look at the names that are coming. Look at the people that are coming to showcase their skill. Like, if we wanted, we could have gone on tour and selling it 10 times out, but we decided not to. So we've limited the tickets to a couple of hundred, and that's why we purposely picked the venue, the Opium Rooms on Wexford Street, because it's a fantastic venue. To be honest, it's an amazing venue for what we're doing. But you're only limited as well on the amount of people, so that has kind of restricted us also, but purposely restricted us just to a couple of hundred people.
Less is more.
Less is more.
Yeah, I suppose people can go away and talk about it better with 200 people there maybe than having 2,000 people, because it just becomes commercial entity where no one can really gain anything from it?
Yeah, there's going to be 400 to 500 people basically there. Our ticket sales, we limited our ticket sales for 400 people, and we've got 100 freebies, would you like, of people coming, people in the trade and that type of stuff that are coming, and we just felt that that was enough. Yeah, because we want people to have a great experience on the day and go away with a good experience and say, you know what, it wasn't too empty, it wasn't too full. We actually had an opportunity to talk to the guests that were on stage that day, as opposed to if there was a couple of thousand people there, you wouldn't be able to give that personal experience. And barbering is a personal experience. When you go into the barber shop, you engage with your barber. So what we wanted to do is people to come and engage with their barber. And they mightn't be their physical barber of cutting their hair, but their barber of choice on social media. So yeah, there you go. They have their opportunity to come and engage with their barber.
Okay, and this is something that you want to do on a yearly basis moving forward?
Very, very much so. Barber Cut Dublin, this is his first year. We strive to get it, I was going to say bigger and better. I don't want it bigger, as in, like, you know what I mean, this huge event, like, you know, where there's thousands upon thousands of people. We want to get better. We're going to learn
more impactful.
Exactly, yes. We're going to learn a lot from this event. And we're going to have an annual. It's funny, we've already got requests asking us from different cities around the world saying, are you coming to us? Which is something we never thought of even considering doing, like going on tour, like Barber Cut Dublin on tour, or it would be, I presume it would be Barber Cut on tour, but never say never.
Yeah. You know, the people that have hit you up asking this question realise the level of work that's involved to put something together. So if they can have it packaged for them, that's why they're hitting you up, I guess. I
wouldn't blame them, because I tell you one thing, see that package putting together, I realised that it's not an easy thing to do. Thanks be to God, I have the expertise of Kieran Black on my side, because Kieran is an amazing event organiser, and to be quite honest, if I hadn't got my partner, the co-founder of Barber Cut being an event organiser, I don't think I would have been able to, you know, successfully put this together. Okay, I'm a barber and I know who's out there in my trade, but as regards to event organising, that's a job in its own.
Yeah, I get that impression about you, that you continuously beat yourself up in search of excellence.
Yeah, my wife's over there nodding. Yeah. You know, I've had people ask me, like, why do you care? Why do you make it any of your business? I'm like, no, the whole world's wrong. Nobody's doing hair right. I need to fix it.
And you kind of thrive on your haters as well. Was it a hater that inspired you to write your book?
To be honest, yeah. It's weird. I remember the first time I got a hater, it was the guy that I mentioned in the book, and it blew me away. I was like, I've done all of these things to try to help strangers, and this guy is giving me a hard time for doing it. And over the years, like, I started trying to figure out, why would somebody go out of their way to be a dick like that? And I realized it's taught me a ton just by listening to everything he said and just understanding, like, and not just, I'm not giving so much credit to this one hater, but just in general, it's like, essentially it's somebody who doesn't realize the value that you have. And what I'm realizing now is, I think barbers everywhere, we have this tendency to want to prove how good we are and like not be vulnerable enough to say, this is what I offer, do you like it, take it or leave it. And I think that vulnerability is something that, you know, having the haters has made me realize, like, okay, I can't be all things to all people, but I've realized that that's what made me popular, is that I know this is what I do and don't do. Do you like it? If you don't, that's cool too. And that's something that I'm trying to strive to get other barbers to do now too, is to say, hey, this is what I do. Do you like it or not? If not, then that's cool too. So yeah, I don't know if any of that all made sense. In my head, it all came together in the end.
Yes, it does. Stay in your lane.
Yeah, exactly.
Style, stay in your lane. Cool. Let's talk on a different subject. On your brochure for this Barber Cut, Sam, you said that there's, after the show, after the education and everyone's walked away with different skill sets and knowledge, there's going to be a party like no other. Tell me.
Well, at the end of the show, we're going to have the first of its kind, which is going to be the Lifetime Achievement Award. And that's going out, we have picked a winner, and it's going out to a very, very special person who has dedicated their whole life to the barbering industry. And that's going to be presented by the Scorum. And we just felt that the Scorum were the right people to, you know, present this award to this individual, because the individual is an amazing person. But then following that, we have a fantastic band by the name of the Hot Sprockets. And the Hot Sprockets rock. And this is the difference again with Barbercut Dublin. We're going to have live music, and it's just going to be a big, listen, you're in Ireland, and when you're in Ireland we have the crack, and trust me, Barbercut Dublin's going to finish off with a party like no other.
Yeah, because we go to Barber Connect, those Welsh boys have got the ability to sing. You don't hear one song from them.
Listen, you know, I go to Barber Connect each year, and I know the guys who run it, and you know what, they're really, like, you know, my hat goes off to the guys and what they've achieved out there. I just think they're an amazing bunch of guys, and you know, what they've done has been fantastic for our industry. I just respect, you know. But like I said though, in Dublin, like, you know what I mean, we have a tendency to have the crack. So we want to inflict the crack on everyone.
It comes in.
Yeah.
All over.
They'll be back. They mightn't actually remember the day because of the night, but that's okay. There'll be pictures. They'll be reminded with pictures at a later stage.
So yeah, how many? Do you know off the top of your head how many different countries barbers are coming from?
7. When I say 7, we know because we've been looking at the ticket sales, and I know there's people from 7 different countries. Numerous people of them countries, but 7 different countries. It's funny enough, we have a guy coming over from Costa Mesa, California. He's bought a ticket.
Costa Mesa?
Costa Mesa, yeah.
And Newport Beach.
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Doesn't he know Donnie's from there? You could see Donnie like anytime.
Hey, maybe he comes to see you instead. He doesn't want to see Donnie.
I'm from about 15 minutes from there.
There you go, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's coming over. We've got people coming from Lisbon. We've got people coming from Poland. A lot of people coming over from the UK. People from the length and breadth of Ireland, obviously. And yeah, there's people from all over the place coming over. See, the great thing about Dublin is that basically we've got 750 flights a day coming into Dublin, and the opium rooms is in the middle of Dublin city centre, and to get from Dublin airport into the city centre is like a 20-minute ride. Plain and simple. We've got hundreds of hotels, hostels, B&Bs, shitloads of bars, loads of restaurants. Did I mention bars?
You did, yes.
Yeah, there's loads of bars. It's great fun, and you know, it's just easy to get to Dublin. And as well, we're in the Euro, so an awful lot of our neighbours from Europe are coming over. You know, they just bring their wallet. They don't even have to change money. They just come here and spend.
So after this is going out now, if someone wanted to attend, where do they get a ticket from?
Okay, they go to eventbrite.ie or go to barbercut.com, and that will push them towards our ticket sales site, or they go on to our Instagram page, Barbercut Dublin, or they go on to Facebook, Barbercut Dublin, and all of them different sites and pages are vessels that direct them towards eventbrite.ie. And it's very, very simple. You just buy a ticket online. It's the easiest way to buy a ticket. And then they turn up on the day of your ticket, they get a wristband going in, and they can come and go as the day goes as well. Like on Wexford Street, there's loads of bars and restaurants and kebab shops and really cool restaurants. So people can come and go. Like, it's not as if like you're in and that's it. You know, they might come in, watch 2 or 3 guests on stage, go have a beer elsewhere, might meet people that they haven't seen over a year or 2 and go for a beer with them elsewhere and come back. And that's like, you know, that's pretty cool, I think.
Andrew, tell me where you are with this haircut now.
Well, I'm basically done cutting. I've been trying to draw it out so you guys can finish talking. I'm going to blow dry it in a second, but I didn't want to do that over the speaking. Basic men's haircut 1A. It's like straightforward. It's a box on his head. Building weight just over the widest part of the head here. And I try to make everything look as though it wasn't just cut, so I didn't put any clean lines on it anywhere. I didn't quite go all the way down to skin anywhere. And after I blow dry it, I'm going to see what the hair wants to do and fine tune it based on that. I notice his hair over here grows kind of straightforward, and he probably has spent most of his life trying to pull it back. but I'm going to style it straightforward because it seems to want to do that. But that's been a thing that I've been into lately, is rather than fighting the hair and forcing it to do what you want it to do, just listening to it, see what it wants to do. As I was working through the hair, I was taking my sections and bending them a little bit to follow the natural growth, as opposed to just doing like a brick laid like grid of sections here. Just because it'll help it to lay a little more smoothly when it falls naturally. And so one of the ways that I like to think about it is, okay, if the client doesn't style his hair, which way is it going to go? It's going to go the way that it grows, so I'm going to cut it accordingly. And then if the client tries to style his hair but he sucks at it, it's going to go that way as well. So that's what I'm doing for him today. Hopefully the idea is low maintenance. Wake up and do nothing to it and it'll look cool.
So give us what your...
Because I said so.
Your motto? Tell me your motto.
Good hair doesn't come from a jar. And, you know.
Do you want to explain a little bit, go a little bit deeper?
The first time I said that, I didn't expect it to be such a hit. I didn't expect it to mean as much as it meant. I just got sick of, as soon as I started to build a social media following, I started seeing one question more than any other. And I would do a hairstyle where I spent 20 minutes blow drying it and back combing it and perfecting it. And the first question was always, what product did this? And it got frustrating because I would try to tell everybody, no, it's not the product that did it. It's the guy behind the chair. And then, you know, I would see all of these, I would see all of these videos on YouTube where it's like, oh, you don't need a barber who knows what he's doing. Just watch me. I'll teach you how to do it, but buy my product. And so it's like, well, and so I said it one time on Instagram. I think I actually sketched it up on literally like a piece of paper. I just drew it real quick. Good hair doesn't come from a jar, and a picture of a jar. And it got like 3 times as many likes as any of my other pictures at that time. And it just blew up and it got like reposted. And so I started saying it over and over and over again. And then I trademarked it and I made it the largest font on my jar here. Good hair doesn't come from a jar. And I didn't expect it to work on so many levels, but I look at so many aspects of the hair industry where, okay, so product sales, they push the industry. Like you sell product and then I can fly to Dublin because product's sold. You know what I mean? And these things and these connections are made and things move forward because of product sales. But it almost starts to feel like in some corners, like that's the end goal because, you know, you also line your pockets with product sales. And so good hair doesn't come from a jar is essentially, it works on that level too. It's like, it's so normal to just, everything is like, oh, the product, that other things don't get talked about. And so, yeah, that's what it's about. It's just to try to stop somebody in their tracks to go, wait, okay, well, what else is involved? It's okay, let's talk about that. Because to be honest, like, you know, the blow dry is 10 times more important than the product. And the guy, the technician, and this guy is a damn genius at that. I mean, I talked to him for 20 minutes today only, and the guy, he knows what he's doing. And there's no replacement for a barber who knows what he's doing. That's been ultimately my biggest frustration in recent years, especially, like I said, as my Instagram following has been growing. People want to look to me to be their expert. And I'm like, no, go to your barber, your expert. So yeah, that'll be like the next chapter of Good Hair Doesn't Come From a Jar. Is like, stop going to the internet, go to your barber.